So, what we are going to do today is that we are going to start on Mahārāhulovādasutta. The advantage of this sutta is that it teaches you how to do anapanasati. That's the ultimate aim of this sutta. So, this is to Rahula, where Buddha says that you do this, and then Rahula starts working it out, and Sariputta comes and tells him that you should do anapanasati. And Rahula feels that, okay, I really don't know how to practice this anapanasati. So then he approaches the Buddha, and Buddha teaches him how to do it. So this sutta is most interesting because we have anapanasati, we have anapanasati katha. Also, we have this sutta where in the Mahasatipatthana we have this sutta. Before we enter into it, Ariyu is there. He had certain questions. So first, let's address his question and go there. Yeah, Ariyu, you can start with your questions. If you want, I can read the question, what you have put it in the WhatsApp.
I can just quickly repeat it. So,
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. My understanding is that in meditation, many times we talk about using a sensation as the meditation object, whether it's a sight or a touch. So in the Mind Illuminated book, he emphasized when you're watching the breath, it's the touch of the breath, sensation, that's the meditation object. And in the walking meditation section, he said, watch the touch of the sole of the feet touching the ground as the meditation object. Although in the Satipatthana Sutta, or when you were describing how you can watch the walking, like when you're walking, know you're walking. So I'm just wondering, in this particular case, is it true that it's not necessarily a sensation that's used as a meditation object, but rather it's like the proprioception of I know I'm walking. It's like you know the body's posture. That itself is taken as the meditation object. And if that's true, does it fall under the one of the six senses? Yeah,
Okay,
that's my question.
your questions were very good. So let me answer it in this way. Number one, it's a phassa pachaya vedana. So it is through contact, the feeling arises. So touch is part of that contact. Okay. So when we start looking at the breath, you should watch the touch. When I'm sitting like this, I should watch the touch. Phassa, contact. Now, due to that contact, there is some or the other kind of vedanas. Vedana can be called as sensation, Vedana can be called as feeling. Okay? So I can take either of one of the two meanings. Now, the next step, what happens is yam vedeti tam sanjanati. So before that perception takes over, you just watch. So the wrong perception is removed and the right perception is put in place. So when let us say I'm watching the breath, it's a touch which is more important than whether it is long or short or whatever. Okay. So when I'm touch, when I'm when I'm really what I can say attending to that touch, then the awareness starts. What would be that awareness? The awareness is that whether it is long or short, okay, like that. Okay, so now I'm taking a long breath, I'm taking a short breath. Okay, that I can see. The first thing I need to do is to watch the breath, the touch. When I'm walking, two ways of doing it. Know that you're walking, that is awareness. That means there is no distraction of any other object coming and sticking to it, right? When I'm walking, I can be thinking also. So then either I should be knowing that I'm walking and thinking, or I should know I'm thinking and not watching the walking. So I need to know that. That's about knowing. That is awareness. Out of the 4-step process, the first step is to focus. What am I focusing? I'm focusing on the touch of the leg to the floor, right? Then I get attention. This an attention that, oh, the floor, leg is touching the floor. There's an attention to it. Then I get awareness, the touch awareness that it is touching. Now I can do it with every bending, moving these fingers. That is Iryapabba, the 4 postures. Walking, standing, sitting, lying down. Yes, Sachin, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I do it. I do it like this, Aryu. Um, Whenever I'm walking or sitting meditation, I see my calmness. If I'm very calm, I'm totally not distracted. I just this body is that awareness is sufficient for me to ground. If I am very much distracted, I use telescopic view. I increase the power of telescope. When I'm too much distracted, I try to penetrate into the sensation. So I go deep into it so that this other distractions comes down. If there is no distraction, I don't go deep. I stay that body is.
Yes,
Athikaya.
that makes sense to me. I think, I guess I don't fully understood Vilas's question yet, but to address your comment, I think in the book, he said the samadhi is able to control where the focus goes and also control the scope of the focus.
Telescopic
Right?
view.
So in this case, if you're distracted, you narrow the scope to a really small sensation and fix the mind. Until it's fixed enough, you expand the scope to the whole body.
Yes.
But again, when you're knowing I'm moving like this, moving like that, I'm wondering what is the phassa here? What is the touch that
Right.
we're watching?
Yes, I got it. So now you don't do that. You just go by the touch.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry about the walking and standing and sitting and all that.
Okay.
Okay. Why? Because we need to develop the third one, which is awareness. Okay.
Okay.
So sometimes the mind is gross, like what Sachin is saying. So, or you are saying that if you increase the scope, mind get distracted. It gets pulled in another direction. It's better to make it small focus. That's the reason in the Vipassana class they teach only to observe this much portion and in the front of your lips. That's it. Before they do the body scanning on the 4th day, they teach you only till here. Why? Because the smaller the focus, the better is the concentration, the better is the awareness, and then you become mindful of that feeling what is coming. The larger the ground I take, the horrible it becomes, because mind, if it is so gross, it cannot feel everywhere. So now if I were to bring in this Iryapabba and all that, it's going to get even more distorted. So what if you see the Mahāsatipatthana Sutta, he first teaches you the basic thing what you should know. That is the Anapanasati with awareness of 2 kayas, the Namakaya and the Rupa kaya, Ajjatta, Bahita and all that. And then only the Iryapabba starts. That means if somebody has accomplished that, doesn't require Iryapabba. But somebody cannot accomplish that, he can try out through Iryapabba. It's knowing, awareness. Sampajanya and Pajanana are part of the same thing. One is your knowing that this has come. And the second one is that you are mindful about it. That is Sampajanya. Yes.
Yes. So I think I understood your point about you always, train yourself with a, smaller scope until the awareness start building so you can be, increase the focus. That I understand. But let's say someone cannot get the breath. He directly moved to Iryapabba, where he's watching the body. In that case, does he have to start with a sensation, let's say the foot touching the ground to begin
No,
with?
instead of that, he has to make it like a puppet show.
Okay.
Right? So if he's in the puppet show, they will be moving their thing and it looks as though animated, right? So you just watch the animation.
Yeah, sometime when I don't have that much thought and my mind is okayly calm, I can watch myself walking and I don't get distracted. And if I get a thought, I know I have a thought and I will come back to the walking. So I'm just wondering when I'm watching like that, what is the passa I'm watching? And I don't feel there's a specific sensation, so to speak. And
Phassa is how the body is moving, how the body is bending, how the legs are bending, like what they teach in Zen meditation. They focus on the body movements.
mm,
So you have to watch the body. See, the first thing we need to understand is you need to learn to see this body from a third party perspective, not as I perspective. That's the change of the ground.
yes.
Yep.
I think that's also why I brought up the word proprioception, right? I think some people say it's almost a seventh sense or whatever. It's almost a sensation. You kind of know, where the body is. That itself almost.
Proprioception is like locating every cell of the body where it is happening. That
Right,
not
and
that
it's
what
similar.
you are saying is the full body balance. That is something else other than proprioception.
Oh, okay.
I forgot his name. Something related to body balance. You know that body is balanced.
Yes.
That awareness comes from your eardrum.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering if that is the object we're watching, and
No, no,
if
no,
so.
no, 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 no. It's like this. Ultimately, you have to find the contact, right? Whether you take dhatu, you take iryapabba, you take sampajanyapabba, you take anapanasati, you take whatever you want to take. The objective here is to find the contact point.
And
Yes.
the question is when you're walking knowing I'm walking, standing knowing I'm standing, what exactly is the contact point is the main question.
The contact point is how the body is placed. That's what he says in the iryapabba, how it is placed.
So that
I
contact,
think that is Dhamma. I think that is the object is
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Yes,
Dhamma.
yes.
And the fassa of the Dhamma is happening.
Okay,
Concept that you are is a Dhamma.
okay, that's what I feel too. That's how
Fine.
I'm at.
You see, whether we call it as dhamma, we call it as a thing, we call it as standing, we all these are postures means what? It's like a puppet show. If you are able to get that puppet show in your body, then you are done. You don't have to go by breath. Got it? Then comes a sampajanya papa. If you are able to do it through uh, stopping the senses from going into sense object, you will see that. Yes.
So this puppet show is what, when you succeed at the training, that's the feeling you get, right?
Yes.
But as you start training, you still need an object to keep watching, and this
That's
object
the
is
object.
knowing
That
posture.
puppet itself is an object, like he's talking about, right? Each of the dhamma, each of the
Yeah,
movement is the dhamma, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that's your object of contact.
yeah.
Yeah, all
I
your
think,
whole body is projected in your mind actually.
yes, I
Otherwise,
think
you
I
have.
can see that. Yes,
And I think at this point, Etan Santan, Etan Panitan is much better because instead of what is the object and not, the most important thing is that you are staying for a long time undistracted.
Yes. See, for all, you before you come to the object, you need to practice or get to the samatha. Otherwise, if you are starting with other things, it's not going to work out because the mind is already distracted. So, a vikepha, that you need to remember. Vikepha is distractedness. So now if the mind is distracted or it is shaking with that object itself, it's not going to work. Whether I take breath or I take this other one, that other one, that other one, I can take whatever. That's not the thing. Even the sutta, I need to finalize on the sutta before I attempt. So first thing is samatha. Second is identifying which sutta I want to penetrate. Third thing is I need to find an object. Or the second thing I can make about what object I want to take for this whole week. And third one I can do the sutta. The fourth one is vipassana. The fifth one is anupassana. Right? And then only it works. Yes.
The reason I'm bringing walking meditation is that when I'm sitting, obviously I'm watching the breath, but when walking around, I think breath is sometimes not easy to watch, especially if it's cold. I have to use my mouth to breathe in, and it becomes
It's not like
not
that.
easy.
No. It's nothing to do with how gross or how subtle is the breath. If you get that, you will be able to find the breath irrespective of how subtle it has become.
Okay.
Now, let's say my mind is gross and it's not able to find the breath. No problem. Look at this body movements. See, I need to be observant. See, first I need to bring into the observation. Now the question comes, hold on. What should I observe? Now I can say movement, but I'm not getting it. So now what I have to do is I need to focus on a particular area. Let's say fingers. Just when I'm sitting, just watch the fingers. This is mechanical device. It's no I or mine or anything like that. I need to watch it. As I start watching it, some funny things start to happen. What's the funny thing? Your mind will stop distracted. The distractedness is not there. So it becomes watchful. Okay. So I'm employing the mind to do something. And now it is doing this thing. After a while, it becomes bored. So before it turns bored, I need to get into the awareness. Awareness of what? Awareness of this bending and touching. Now it is touching here, right? So can't I feel the touch? Now instead of watching this bending, I need to watch the touch. Got it? Then it becomes mindful. It becomes part of it. Now it keeps on looking at the touch. And when it touches, it can touch soft, hard, hot, cold, like that. So this fingers turns itself into just an activity of hot and cold, soft and hard. Clear? So you're slowly dropping off the gross, coming into the subtle awareness, and the subtle awareness is only this much. Now, can I not close my eyes and watch the remaining things of this? Elbow is touching here. Yes. And can I not do this where my other hand is touching here? Yes. Can I not feel that this body is sitting on the chair? Yes. Can I not feel the feet touching the floor? Yes. Can I not now feel this dress I'm wearing is touching this body? Yes. Can I not feel cold, hot, and all that? Yes. So, first, I have to let go of the grossness. Then I have to come to the subtle awareness. And in the subtle awareness, that awareness remains, everything goes away.
And this is magic that if awareness becomes subtle, the more and more subtle sensation you feel, including breath.
Yes.
Yes.
Then actually, 1 second, Aryu, before I leave you to ask further question, to add to what Sachin said, once this becomes profound, Hit and Santan, okay, then the breath automatically gets established. Okay, now the distractedness is because I don't know what to do, because there's no focus. So I have to find a focal point. See, the camera requires a focus. I can't say that, okay, take whatever you see, what it will do. So I have to bring in a focus. So I'm focused on my fingers. I don't have to worry about the this one, that one, or whatever it is. Even my spectacle, just if it is so gross, I just have to concentrate. I'm using the word concentrate to the touch here, right? I'm not expected to watch the breath or anything. Obviously, this touch area. After some time, I can feel the heaviness of this spectacle on my ear. Presently, I'm not because it is gross, but subtly I know it is pressure. There's a pressure, heaviness of this load. Then slowly I can work out on the entire body. After that, magically, you will be only on the breath. Let go of everything else. Yes, now it's your turn. Go ahead.
No, okay. I don't mind using the breath as meditation object as walking as well. I only find it challenging because sometimes I found out if I'm not watching the breath, when I'm walking, I tend to breathing with my mouth.
No,
But
don't do that because that becomes tiring for the body and total distraction.
no, I don't mean I want to do that. I mean, if I'm thinking about other things, the body automatically does that through especially if the air is cold. If outside is cold, my mouth is automatically opens. But when I put attention there, I would not want the mouth to open. So I'm using my nose. So it becomes, I'm changing the breath. And I feel like I have to keep, manipulating it rather than allowing it to happen.
That's what is called as a distraction. So you become more and more restless. It becomes even more gross. That means you can't feel anything.
Never take challenging thing.
See, Aryu, for you, for me, or for anyone, if something is not working, drop it.
The breath is definitely working when I'm sitting.
I'm not talking about sitting. I'm talking about walking. If you are not able to get the breath in walking, drop it.
Yeah. Just for a few minutes.
Okay. What
Yeah.
you do is observe the knee bending, coming front, bending, coming front, bending, coming front. That much you do. Right? You don't have to see the entire body. No.
Yeah. Or before I was watching the foot touching the ground. That also works to some degree. Yeah.
No, that some degree is again a subjective matter. You need to check which one you can have focus for a long time.
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's say you are doing 1 hour walking. Okay, for health reasons, I want to walk. Great. In that 1 hour, can you watch the knee bending and going front, going back, going front like a robotic leg? That's all you watch.
You mean the touch feeling around the knees, right?
Forget that meaning of touch and all that. I want you to just observe the bending and straightening. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Can you just do that?
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
When you do that, I will also answer that question because now you will have another question to that. Then when will the touch happen? That bending and straightening itself is a touch.
Okay.
It's like this, right? It's the bone is sitting
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Isn't it that happening when you're walking?
It is. There will be a physical sensation, but my question is it the physical sensation I'm watching, or is this the puppet of the
No,
Dhamma
that's why
watching?
the reason I'm cutting you off, because the more you analyze like this, the worse it gets, because you're distracting so much that you want to see what happens after that. Okay, after that what happens, and after that what happens, after that what happens. Nothing is going to happen because you're
Okay.
making things too gross. Mind cannot experience anything when it is gross, no matter how much you try. So we have to relax. It's okay. So this one you will need to watch. Fine. Whether it's physical, mental, sensation, no sensation, leave that. For time being,
Okay.
just leave it.
Okay.
Okay. Now you just watch. How long can you watch this bending like this and straightening, bending, straightening, bending, straightening, bending, straightening, irrespective of the speed of your walk? what the Zen meditators tell you is, don't do it like that, do it very slowly, because now you can see the entire thing touching and releasing. So it arises and passes away. So if you
Okay.
see in a Zen meditator, he will be doing it like really like a puppet. So he will walk so slowly that he lifts his leg and okay, this is leg is lifted. Now it is keeping down. There is a reason. That is extremely good for people who are completely gross. They can't get anything. The Zen meditation helps you in coming out of grossness. Vipassana, what this Sachin has done, is good for those people who would like to manage on the breath. So we have to find one strategy which works for us, right? So we need to find which one is that. And that's the reason in the Buddha Dhamma, he gives so many varieties of objects. Out of that, only one will fit you. That's yours. Yeah.
And it's okay that for a majority of the day I'm watching the breath, and just only for this 1 hour walk I'm
Perfectly.
watching.
See, you're not
me.
watching breath, you're watching the touch in the breath. The object is the breath, but what are you trying to do is the touch. The object is walking, but what are you finding is a touch. Because assa pachaya vedana, vedana pachaya tanha, tanha pachaya upadana, upadana pachaya bhava, bhava pachaya jati, jara, marana, soka. That whole PS cycle, if you want to watch, then you need to go through phassa, contact. There can't be anything without contact. So in the if I say two kinds of kaya, namakaya, rupakaya. To know the rupakaya, I need to know the namakaya. So the namakaya first is phassa, then vedana, then sanya, then chetana, then manasikara. I need to understand how it works. I am a manasikara, but I want to know how it works. So my interest is only phassa, contact. Whether it is a breath contacting, touching in the nostril, or whether my finger touching this face, or this spectacle touching my this earlobe here, or the dress touching the body, or whatever it is. Can I watch like that without making the mind getting into an individualization, right? A personality. I can do that. Then I have achieved anatta. And then I can see the dukkha, because now you have to manage. Then anicca happens, because now you know it is not as per one's liking. It's not as per one's choice. But you have got nothing to do with it. So then the center of your heart, you can see a release. You can really feel that it expands and expands and expands. That is niramisa sukha, because it's unconditioned. It's got no conditions attached to it. That's the whole idea.
Okay. Sounds
Fine.
good.
So it's okay. In your case or in anybody's case, if breath I am not able to get, can I take another object? Yes. Can I?
Only for the walking, what I'm doing, like a 1 hour walk, I take another object.
It's okay. It's whatever works.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Keep experimenting.
Yes.
But don't
Yes.
get distracted. See, the
Yes.
reason why I say take only one object, because the more the objects, the more the distraction.
Even for me, for some time, I focus on whether I'm distracted or not. Even that Dhamma, I focus is my meditation object, whether I'm distracted or not. I call it Chittanupasana or whatever you name it.
That's cool.
So it doesn't matter, Ariyu. Don't go literally with a compressed mind.
Yeah.
Leave it. It's not working. Nothing is working. Let's say, Ariyu, this morning I want to do this. It's not working. Just relax. Don't do anything. It's in my case also. Don't do anything. No iriya pabba, no sampajanya pabba, no anapana sati, no this, no dhamma also. Why? If I'm burdening the mind, it is not going to do anything. It gets into restless mode and then the interest goes away.
Yeah, in fact, I found that is more important because I sometimes tried and it worked very good because whatever I try to meditate, the theme of the whole day, whichever I learn, comes into my meditation. So I started discarding the theme. I say I will not even focus on breathe. Let my awareness goes where.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we need to find a strategy. Out of all of the discussion, I am 100% sure the same one will not work for everyone. It's not one size fits all. No, because our sankharas are different, our habit patterns are different, our karma are different. So how can you fit one size fits all? No. Like he is talking about the theme. The theme is knowing what is anicca, dukkha, anatta, and patisamutpada cycle. That's a theme. How you approach it, it can be hundreds of ways. So Zen meditation can be one way. The Vipassana, what he does, is another way. The Pa-Auk tradition can be another way. The Desana kind of thing can be another way. So there can be many, many, many ways. Whatever clicks. That's it. That's your tool or a method or a object. So for walking, use this whatever you want to do, the body bending. While sitting meditation, use the breath. Absolutely fair. So don't go by that mind illuminated book on breath while walking.
No, the book said the touch of the feet on the ground as the meditation object.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. So do
Yeah, so-
whatever strategy works for you.
Yeah, I can get into that sometimes a little bit. Yeah, I will keep trying.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Now let's start back on the Mahārāhulovādasutta. Okay. Any other question before we go there from anyone here? Are you all okay with the 4 days what we did? I don't know how far have you guys reached, but any questions or a thing we can take up? Okay, if not, we'll continue. So the first section of the Mahārāhulovādasutta is to let go of 11 things in 5 aggregates. That's a practice for today. And tomorrow again we are going to meet. We'll see how we have progressed. The first theme, okay, there is nothing called as. Okay, notice this. There is nothing called as the past, atita. There's nothing called as the future, anagata. There's nothing called as pachuppanna of rupa. It's a mental fabrication that I existed in the past and hence the rupa is in the past. I'm going to exist in the future and hence this rupa will exist in the future, and I'm existing now and hence this is my rupa. There's nothing like that. It's only rupa. That's a practice. Atita, anagata, pachuppanna. 3 out of 11. The first practice is to let go of atita, anagata, pachuppanna. There's nothing called as internal rupa. There's nothing called as external rupa. Ajjatta bahidda. I can't claim this is my internal rupa. Why? When I go to the lavatory, that rupa is going away. That's not mine. And hence, there can't be a person's internal elements or the rupa. Okay. There is nothing called Bahid. That is, oh, this is Bahid, outside. There's only Pathvi or only Apo, only Tejo, only Vayu, only Akasa. There's nothing called as an internal and an external. Ajjatta Bahid. Clear? So 5. That is Atita Anagata Pachupanna, Ajjatta Bahida, Olarika Sukuma, gross and subtle. Okay. The grossness is a feeling, the subtleness is a feeling. Internal is a feeling, external is a feeling. Atita is a feeling, Anagata is a feeling, Pachupanna is also a feeling. You feel like that. Okay. Hina Panita. Hina is inferior. Panita is superior. There's nothing like that. Rupa is Rupa. Color is color. There's nothing called as Dubbanna and Suvarna. Dubbanna is bad to look at. Suvarna is good to look at. Just for expression, we talk about it. Just like Adivachana. But in your mind, in my mind, it should not get established. Clear? Okay. Then, yes, Sachin.
Yeah, so it's not in the sutta, but you are adding. But I understand. You mean to say these are mental construction. The rupa is rupa. Telling it ajjatam bahita is my mental construction.
Correct.
So drop that.
Correct.
Description drop every other description which is describing the rupa. We drop that.
Correct. See, in here, he starts with that. Right? If you see, Yam kinchi rahula rupam atita nagata pachuppannam ajjattam va bahidda va olarikam va sukumam va heenam va panitam va yam dure santike va sabbam rupam netam mama neto ahamasmi neto ne na meso atta iti eva metam yatha bhutam samapanyaya databham.
Huh.
So what it means is the same thing.
No, how you are saying discard that.
Discard that is, he's saying, how will you discard netam mama? This is not mine. Because I'm taking, my rupa was in the past, my rupa is going to be there in the future, and this is my rupa in the present. Then only that I-ness and minus will come.
I-ness is minus is one thing, but Olarika Sukuma, old past and present are another thing.
No, wait. If you look at Vinyanam, Anidassanam, Anantam, Sappatopam, the Vinyana only does that. Yatta patavi cha apo cha tejo cha vayo cha nagadati yatta dhigam cha rasam cha anuthulam subha asubham yatta namam cha rupam cha absesam uparujjati vinyanasa nirodhena yattesam uparujjati. That's what it means. Right? If this is happening in the consciousness, it's not happening anywhere. The feeling of a gross and the subtle is happening in your consciousness through the mind.
Okay, so when you say etam namama or eto nama ahamasmi, so all description also supposed to be dropped because
Yes,
it is
absolutely.
okay. When I drop the relation, I drop the measurement also.
Yes, because measurement is in the mind, right? See, Hina Panita is a measurement, correct? Olarika Sukuma is a measurement. When you compare, you will compare this is gross and this is subtle, but you lose the Rupa itself. Yes or no? By Rupa, it doesn't say I am tall, I am short, right? By Rupa itself doesn't say that. The mind, the consciousness distorts itself and sees that this is measurable. And then the problem starts. So what is he teaching his son Rahula is that Yam Kinchi Rahula Rupam. Any Rupa, Yam Kinchi. Kinchi means even a little, wherever you find Yam. Rahula Rupam. Where Rahula there is a Rupa. It will come in what? Atita, Anagata, Pachuppannam. Ajjattam va, Bahidda va, Olarikam va, Sukamam va, Heenam va, Panitam va, Yam Dure, Yam Santike. Right? Tabbam Rupam, all Rupa. Netam Mama. This is not mine. Why? You measure, it becomes yours. If you don't measure, it is not yours. Okay? Neso aham asmi. Then if you measure, it becomes a belonging next to you. It makes you feel belonged. This is my Rupa. It belongs to me. Obviously, it belongs to me. So, neso aham asmi. Na meso atta iti. This is not myself. Because one self view is I belong inside. So there is another sutta in the Sanyukta Nikaya, which we have already covered it, where a person keeps on feeling that I am within this body, I am this one, I am that one, and all that, right? We have covered that some time ago. So this is a conclusion of all of that, this great sutta. So first and foremost, we should look at that when we are seeing this, we have understood that in the Sanyukta Nikaya. Because it's a summary of what we have learned there. If not, we have to go back and refer to it. Yes, Aryu, you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a comment.
Mhm.
So one insight that I got previously when meditating on this sutta is that I understand why Buddha put these 13 qualities in a way that, for example, olarikam sukkamba. I think for us, something gross, it's easier to see it's not mine. Let's say I have some dead skin on my feet or some hair that I can easily see these are not me because they're more gross. But when I think about the the nicest skin of my face, or the nice the good soft tissues, I have a stronger feeling it's mine. And for the hinam panitam, I think if you have some feature in your body you don't like a mole or something, you say, this is not me. But if you have a good part that looks nice, you would more likely to say this is me and this is what I like. So you start with the ones you can see the mind is distinguishing, even though they're all part of the body. We still start to get the good things to be mine and the bad things to not be me. So in that way, it's easy
Nice one.
to start.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one, but that brings you to anatta. It takes you to anatta lakkhana. Good. But if you see the next section, where Rahula goes and asks Buddha, I'm not able to understand. Then he gives him all the 5 elements. That's a practice for both Ajjatta and Bahidda. Then you will come to
Okay.
know Olarika Sukuma. Then you will come to know Hina Panita. Then you will come to know Dure Santike, near and far.
Okay.
What you have done is good. But if you go by the sutta, then he explains.
Okay.
Right? So that like a Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, he explains. So this 11 things get discarded once you see the dhatus or the qualities as it is, without calling it as internal and external. Even in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Ajjattam va kaye kayanupassi viharati, Bahidda va kaye kayanupassi viharati, Ajjatta Bahidda va kaye kayanupassi viharati, Atti kayoti va panasasati पच्चुपट्टिता होती यावद एव ज्ञानमत्ताय पटिसति मत्ताय अनिश्चितो च विहरति न च किंचित् लोके upadiyati evam eva bhikkhu kaye kayanupassi viharati. If you really go through that section, what is saying? Ajjattam va kaye kayanupassi viharati. Ajjatta includes these 11 with pathavi dhatu, apo dhatu, tejo dhatu, vayo dhatu. Bahidda, same 11 with external, with somebody. Like you guys are sitting, so I'm considering this is mine and this is others. Ajjatta Bahiddava Kaye Kayana Passi Viharati. I'm cutting off this Ajjatta and Bahidda. There is nothing called as an internal earth element or internal earth quality and an external earth quality. They both are only earth quality. So that means that what I'm seeing it divided, I'm removing the division of the Rupa. If I were to do it, then what happens? Attikayotiva Panasa Sati. The Sati gets established in this is Kaya. Okay? Attikayotiva Panasa Sati. Pana is your wisdom. Panasa Sati. Pachupattita hoti. Pachupattita means it gets established. Yavad eva jnanamattaya. And you are doing this only for getting the jnana or the wisdom. Patisati mattaya. To get bound with that wisdom. Anisito cha viharati. You are not getting stuck on that. That this is mine. Patisati mattaya. Anisito cha viharati. Nacha kinchi loke upadiyati. You are not going to create a world of senses. Evam eva bhikkhu. This is what I call kaye kayano passi viharati. This section detailing is Mahārāhulovādasutta. This entire section. And then you get piti, pasiddhi and all that. Once you penetrate this, automatically that happens. Because there's nothing called internal and external any longer in you. There's nothing called as gross and subtle. There's nothing called as far and near. There's nothing called as hina and panita, superior, inferior. So these divisions, these measurement divisions are completely given up in the mind. The chitta doesn't carry that. If the chitta doesn't carry, what happens? Animitta happens. The immediate root of that is once you get animitta, you get appanihita, which is desirelessness. There's nothing to desire. And then you see the void, shunyata, which becomes nibbana. Animitta, appanihita, shunyata, nibbana. Or ragakhayo, dosakhayo, mohakhayo, nibbana. The raga is for the rupa. The raga is the dvesha is for the rupa and the moha is on the rupa. Now the three gone. There's no internal, external. It automatically dissolves. Yes.
I just have a little comment because today I was seeing a video about the default mode network on the brain.
Okay.
Right. And I feel like this section is almost all the things Buddha teach are exactly targeting that because the default mode network does the past and the future.
Yes.
It creates the self and it creates the division of good and bad. It does all those things which are in this section are to be given up.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing we need to learn is to let go of 11 things in the rupa. Fine. For the whole day. So whenever I see this, left and right, because that gives me that indriya bhavana also. Through the indriya, I'm watching it. Watching these solid objects. Right? Yesterday we covered on that. So I need to make an animitta. So if I am making the indriya gutta dvara, indriya samvara of the gutta dvara, that is closing the sense door from going towards the sense objects, trying to grasp the sense object. When I watch these 11 characteristics of a rupa, the indriya samvara happens. Because the description is this 11. You can only describe in this 11 ways. There is no other way you can describe a rupa. Yes, Sachin.
So you mean to say by grasping the nimitta, you are describing whether it is ajjatam bahita. So if you are seeing it is bahidda, that means you have grasped it.
I have grasped it and I have seen it, you are Sachin.
Yeah.
Even though it's only Rupa.
Okay.
Instead of that Rupa, which is same Rupa, what gets in the consciousness, in the Vinyana, Sachin. So Chakkuncha Paticha Rupecha Upajati Chakku Vinyanam is Sachin. Thinna Sangati Passo. Now this is Passa. So the contact has happened. Passa Pachaya Vedana. What I'm feeling? I'm feeling Sachin. Yam Vedeti Tam Sanjanati. So now I am perceiving Sachin.
Yeah,
Yam
but Sachin is a complex description, but even subtler description is bahidda.
Bahita. Yes. Subtler description is Bahita. But first you get into the gross. So
Yeah.
Atita, Anagata, Pachupanna first happens. I met Sachin in the past. I'll be meeting him in the future. I'm meeting now. Right? Ajjattava Bahiddava. Hinam va Panitam va. Like that it now keeps on adding up. So for me, for today, if I want to work out, I need to work out on the Rupa. No Vedana, no Sanya, no Sankhara, no Vijnana for today. Only this much. Wherever I'm seeing, so he also asked Rahula, should I only do on Rupa? He says, also on Vedana, also on Sanya, also on Sankhara, also on Vijnana. And Rahula doesn't understand what to do next. So we will exactly do the way between Rahula and Buddha. End result, you will become an Anagami of the Mahārāhulovādasutta. Yes. Yeah, you go ahead.
I guess you shouldn't move to Vedana until you break Rupa.
Yes, that's the reason. Exactly. So our practice.
We will discuss later about how that guy will become a Arhat. Not now. I'll ask that.
Yeah, who? Rahula.
No, I'll ask you how I will become Arhat by this method.
Yes, no, that is a part of this.
Okay, I'll practice first. I will discuss it later.
Okay, no worries. So the first idea, the first setup is to know these 11 things. 11 of them. You have to know all the 11 in the Rupa. So when I have an Indriya, Chakku Indriya, Sota Indriya, Gana Indriya, Jiva Indriya, Kaya Indriya, Mano Indriya, what it does, it takes these 11 parameters through Vijnana. Now the Ayatana is created. You have to cut. Yes, sorry.
I'm wondering, should what's described here be combined with what you said about breaking the weakest sense? Let's say
Yes.
my weakest
Yes.
sense is the touch. So I should touch everything that's near or close or gross and then say, this is not me.
No.
This is not me.
No. Wait, I'll tell you. I'll teach you that also. Let's say your tongue is the most easiest for you to achieve. Do this 11 in that eating.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's touch is the hand touch is my weakest. Let's say, so I should just touch everywhere and feel this is not me.
No. Again, you are off the hook. It's not about not me and that. That is the end result of it.
Oh, okay.
That's the end result of it. That is how you should feel. Neso mama, neso na aham asmi, ne meso atta iti.
It's about asking by what nimitta I am describing this.
Okay.
Inquiring.
Okay.
See, first
I should see if I'm making this 11. and I'm making it.
You will be
close.
only doing this 11. There is no 12. There is no 10.
If you say this is not me, not mine, then it will become chanting.
Yes. Nothing else. Nothing you'll achieve out of it. I can be singing this forever. Ne so mama, ne so aham asmi, ne so me atta iti, ne so mama, ne so aham asmi, ne to me atta iti. That doesn't really make any sense. I need to watch through Indriya. That is, when I'm seeing like this, how do I describe this? This wall. Okay, how do I describe it? I can only describe it by Atita. It existed last time when I was there in this room. Right? Atita, Anagata, future. Also, tomorrow when I come to this room, it will be existing. Then Pachuppanna, right now it is existing. So what does it do to me? It gives me a Nicha Sanya. It makes my mind stable. Isn't it? And this is Olarika, or this is Ajata. This is mine. I booked this room. I'm in the office. I booked this room. It's my room. Nobody can come and take it out from me for the hours I've booked it. Mahidda, there's something outside. Olarika, it's gross. This whole room I can see. It's a gross room. I'm feeling. Sukuma, outside wherever other things are there, they're very sukuma. They are minute, atomic. Hina, inferior. That is inferior, this is superior. Right? Then Dure Santike. Dure means far, Santike means near. These are the 11 ways of defining the Rupa. Then only you get, this is mine, eso mama. Why? Because I see it is there. Tomorrow when I come, I don't expect this room to fly away somewhere, so it is there. So that gives me the second one, because this is craving. Eso mama is craving. Second one is the mana. Eso aham asmi. Now the belongingness becomes. It belongs. I have a belongingness. This body also I have a belongingness. So, aham asmi. Eso mama, eso aham asmi. Eso me atta. This is myself. Wherever I see, this becomes myself. This personality. So, this if I have to break, I have to break through Indriya Bhavana or Indriya Samvara. To do the Indriya Samvara, when I say Animitta, number one, I need to do that. Nimitta Grahi Hoti. Nimitta Graha. Graha means is to possess. Nimitta is the sign, possessing the sign. And Nana Byanjana Hoti. Byanjana means describing it. These are the 11 ways of describing. There's no other way you can describe anything. So he teaches Indriya Bhavana in that way. Yes, Sachin.
So till now, Indriya Bhavana, Indriya Samvar, we were not grasping to the extent that Akusala Dhamma doesn't come.
Correct.
Like I could grasp you as my enemy, I could ungrasp you as not my enemy, then I could grasp you as Vilas. All this is to practice to prevent Akusala Dhamma, but now I am ungrasping really so that I can see 5 element only.
Yes, that's the whole idea.
So this is ungrasping, subtle, becoming subtler and subtler and subtler.
Correct. Very true. Okay, so let's end for today and practice the whole day only on Rupa. Wherever you see, whatever you see how much can you in Indriya Bhavana. Yeah, Sachin, you want to say?
You said Indriya Bhavana and Indriya Samvar. These are separately defined in Tripita?
Yes, that 152 MN 152 is Indriya Bhavana Sutta,
Okay.
and Indriya Samvara is there in DN2 and various other places. So the larger definition is given in the Majjhima Nikaya 152. That's the last sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. Okay, whereas in the Dhiga Nikaya, in various places, Buddha explains Indriya Samvara, including Vibhanga section. In the Jhana Vibhanga, there is a detailing of it. If you go to Jhana Vibhanga and you browse in that, he says, what is Indriya Samvara? Okay. The same thing, but even more detailed than that. Or in there is another sutta which I put there. There is Kundaliya Sutta. In that sutta, I have mentioned it in that document what I have prepared. In that sutta, the Brahmin Kundaliya comes and asks Buddha why one should come into your dispensation. But then he explains, and the last one he gives is Indriya Samvara, and then he says that the first point. If Indriya Samvara is not there, this will not happen. If that is not there, this will not. I'll just tell you the sutta reference. Hold on. Kundaliya Sutta is Majjhima Nikaya 46.6. That's there in that document, but I'll read out a section which he says. This is a very interesting one. So this wanderer Kundaliya comes and asks, what benefit does Master Gautama live for? The benefit the realized one live for Kundaliya is the fruit of knowledge and freedom. But what things must be developed and cultivated in order to fulfill knowledge and freedom? The 7 awakening factors. But what things must be developed and cultivated in order to fulfill the 7 awakening factors? The 4 kind of mindfulness, meditation. But what things must be developed and cultivated in order to fulfill the 4 kinds of mindfulness, meditation? The 3 kinds of good conduct. But what things must be developed and cultivated in order to fulfill the 3 kinds of good conduct? Sense restraint. And Kundaliya, how is the sense restraint developed and cultivated so as to fulfill the 3 kinds of good conduct? You see, without the Indriya Samvara, you cannot get the good conduct also. Okay. Now what he says, a mendicant sees an agreeable sight with their eye. They don't desire it or enjoy it, and they don't give rise to greed. Their mind and body are steady internally, well settled and well freed. But if they see a disagreeable sight, they are not dismayed, and their mind isn't hardened, dejected, or full of ill will. Their mind and body are steady internally, well settled and freed. This is a summary from Majjhima Nikaya 152, Indriya Bhavana Sutta. If we practice Indriya Bhavana Sutta, this becomes easy. And there he gives an examples. He gives a perfect example for a sight, for each one of these indriyas. And he says what a normal worldling will do, what a person coming into Arya will do, what a Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami will do, what an Arhat will do. That's a beautiful one. Now using that, we have to come to DN2, Samanna Palasutta. There he talks about Indriya Gutta Dwara. Using that, we have to come to Kundaliya Sutta. We have to connect like that. Then you have mastered it. Then you're done with that.
Gutta Dwara is same as Samvar, right?
Yes. Gutta Dwara. Gutta Dwara means Gutta secret. Dwara is door. You don't know there is a secret door through which all this enters. So you're not blocked the entry of that. You have to block the entry of that. So first you should know where is the Gutta Dvara. Gutta Dvara opens up in two ways. One is Nimitta, another one is description, which is Adhivachana. Nana Bhyanjana. Nana Bhyanjana means various ways of describing, for which you require Adhivachana. And Adhivachana can only be there as long as you can measure it.
So Adhivachana is prior to Nana Bhanjana?
Yes.
Or
No.
foundation?
Using Adhivachana, you will do Nana Bhyanjana. You describe. And to describe something, you need to compare. Now what we are doing, we are stopping that comparison. If you stop the comparison, mind becomes cool. So your Rupa is gone. If Rupa goes away, Vedana goes away. If Vedana goes away, Sanya goes away. If Sanya goes away, Sankhara goes away. Sankhara goes away, Vijnana goes away. Then the dukkha is gone. That's it. Yes, Aryu.
So I'm just wondering this, I'm thinking about this process, this 11 attribute, how it works. So basically this 11 ways is how when we see a rupa, we connect it with nama rupa, basically adhivachana is happening. So by watching the breath or holding to your meditation object, you keep on using the indriya samvara, and you, let's say you touch. And when you touch, you can observe the mind keeping wanting to make the nama rupa meet. And by observing this process and you bring it back to the
Yes,
rupa.
it cuts. It cuts.
And it slowly, it reduces that tendency to go into nama rupa.
Yes.
And where it's just stay in the
Yes.
perception.
So ultimately what is going to happen, good observation, ultimately going to happen is Nama Rupa Pachaya Salayatana, that will be not be there. So instead of that, this Nama Rupa Vijnana, Vijnana Nama Rupa, you will get that Vattam Vattati, that is circling around, and it gets cut.
Whirlpool.
The whirlpool is cut.
Okay.
Got it? Okay. So before we end, any questions? Anna, you have any questions or any comment? Alankar? Okay. If you don't have anything, even I don't have anything now. So this is a practice. Now, samatha, make it a avikhipa, which is let it not get into distraction mode. So make that happen. Then take this sutta, Kundaliya Sutta, with that Indriya Bhavana Sutta, or whatever you would like to take, to look at how the Indriyas are broken, meaning how do you come out of it, so that you don't get this. You can see these 11 ways of describing. Then do the Vipassana. Okay. Meaning your object is breath, on that or whatever you take, you've taken, then do the Vipassana of it. Then you get wisdom through Anupassana. The 7 Anupassana. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Then you get Nibiddha, Viraga, Nirodha, Patinisagga. Then you're done it with Rupa. Okay. All right. Good day and good night.